Hiya. I've got a full face on and today I'm going to do a bit of a day tonight. Now I know you're probably looking like you've already got loads of makeup on, but I want to play my eyes up more and then take my lips down so that it all kind of balances out. So first of all, to play my eyes up, I'm going to sharpen my brows a little. To do this, I'm going in with a little thin pencil. It would be handy if I had a mirror here, wouldn't it? Now, why didn't I think of that? Hang on. I've got one. Okay. So I'm going to start by really sharpening these brows. I think just underneath to give them a little bit more of an angle. Going to brush out where that feels a bit firm. There we go, that feels better. I always think that if you sharpen your brows, it makes the whole makeup feel really polished. So that's going to be my first go-to, and then we can build from here. So what I've already got on today, in case you're wondering, is actually a powder foundation. It's the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. I'm giggling because that is always such a mouthful and I always think I'm going to forget it one of these days, but it hasn't happened to me thus far. I was on an IT Cosmetics day today actually, so I've got a full face of it on. I've got a lovely brown eyeshadow trio. The lipstick is theirs in Fanciful, all going on. So what I'm going to do is first of all build those eyes a little bit more. Now I've brought down my Zoeva Cocoa Blend and I'm going to start by building some of that brown to make it quite rich, starting with a little bit of freshly toasted through the socket. If you haven't had a chance to listen yet, I actually had Zoe, the founder of Zoeva, on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it was a really fantastic episode. Zoeva is now, you know, a worldwide phenomenon, available in all of these countries. She started with just a small range of brushes, and to be honest, she had quite a sad story at the beginning of her life, and she really had a dream to make the brand to escape a set of bad circumstances at home. So it's a really uplifting story of, you know, overcoming a hardship and having a happy ending. So that is a really, really great episode, I think. If you're going through anything and you want a bit of a light at the end of a tunnel, she's definitely worth having a listen to. If you literally just Google Beauty from the Heart, it will come up and you can find all of the episodes. There's lots of uplifting ones actually. But as I'm using my Zoeva palette at the moment, Zoe's comes to mind. Right, now that I've put that red on, I'm just going to buff it out a little bit at the ends to create more of a seamless blend. And I'm actually going to take the lighter brown next to it, just at the very corners of that kind of copper colour, to give a really soft fade out into nothing. I might stick a bit of highlighter on those brow bones. I really feel like going to town this evening because I've got the framework already here. Okay, next I'm going to take a little bit of subtle blend under this eye to frame it a little bit better. Trying to find space here. I've made a right mess today because I've been filming lots of videos and things. Nice small brush. Someone gave me some feedback yesterday, really good feedback, that I don't mention the names of my brushes. This is a Charlotte Tilbury smudger brush, and the brush I just used before was from Peaches and Cream. If you see me using anything with a pink handle, it's from Peaches and Cream. So I'm just going to smoke that out a little bit. I always think having something underneath gives you an option above and below to make that eye really pop. And I just think it looks a bit smudgier and sexier. So I've got that in, and then I'm going to take a little bit on the same brush of that kind of dusky, what's the word I'm looking for, like a mahogany red in these corners. And there is a colour here that is very nearly black, but it's a dark brown. I'm going to take a tiny bit of that right in those inner corners to just add an extra bit of depth and shape and smokiness. I'm going to put it on with this smudger brush, and then I'll get a nice blender brush to buff that out and make it look seamless. I think the lovely thing about topping up your makeup when you get to this point is that going in with a MAC 217, I'm going to put a little bit of that on the brush as well. The lovely thing about topping up your makeup at this point of the day is that it's nice that it's a bit worn and grungy anyway. You don't really need to worry about all of these lines being perfect. It's just going to look nice and sexy and worn in. There we go. Just adding a bit of shape to those corners, lovely. Now, I'm going to go for a bit of a wild card. I've got Peach's Pigment here that I've completely forgotten the name of, and there's no label on the bottom. It's the brownie that is iridescent green. They'll kill me for not knowing that. I'll write it down. I've gone completely blank. Let me show you. That is just a completely fine glitter. And wait till you see what kind of brush am I going to use? I'm going to use the same flat brush. This is from Medusa's Makeup that I use to apply that brown. No glue or anything. I'm just going to tilt my eye back and pat some of that glitter on. I mean, how fab is that? I've been wearing this in case anybody is interested. To the Sophie Ellis Bextor Kitchen Discos on a Friday, which are the highlight of my quarantine experience each and every week. 6:30, don't miss it. It is honestly the most uplifting thing to look forward to. And even though she uploads them all as an IGTV afterwards, heaven forbid I didn't watch it live there and then. That is the whole point of the kitchen disco. Oh, I absolutely love that glitter. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to up the eyes. Got a bit of Pat McGrath pencil here. I mean, that is intimidatingly sharp. 7 minutes. I need to crack on here because a little bit of that flaked off, but that is my own being a bit silly with how sharp that was. What I want to show you today is Low from the Beauty Bom has done her own lashes, the lovely, and they've been sat on my dresser needing to be used for longer than I care to admit. So I was looking at them thinking, right, today is the day I get them on. If you're not familiar with Low, she's Geordie and she's hysterical and she's a fab makeup artist. That's all you need to know. Okay, got my liner on. Now, what I've done here is made a bit of a rod for my own back, but it's all a lesson learned. I picked this liner because I wanted a brown and it is incredibly creamy. And actually, it's done a fantastic job. But if you're putting liner over glitters, you're always best using a cream or a liquid because it's harder to pull that along, all of that excess pigment. So we've all learned a lesson from my trials and tribulations there, going with a cream or a liquid. Okay, I'm just going to touch up my mascara before I go in with those lashes. I've got a new one to try that I'm layering over my superhero mascara. This is the Extreme Lash Mascara Waterproof from Stila. Lovely big brush there. So that looks very promising. And then while this is drying, I will switch up my lips. There we go. Little tip for you actually, if you have managed to get an online grocery shop, lots of them have basic, not makeup as such, but anything that would keep you kind of clean and comfortable, those kind of supplies like basic cleansers, things like that. I actually managed to get eye makeup remover from my last Tesco order. So if you're running low on anything like that, just bear in mind that the basics are on there. You might not get a brand new makeup bag, but was worth checking if something else is running out. Okay, I've just got a bit of micellar water on, quite a dried up baby wipe, to be honest with you. I don't use baby wipes on my skin. We've got young family members that visit, so there's always baby wipes in the cupboard. Okay, just getting that off. Now, I'm going to go in with my old CC brush and use the excess to tidy that up. I actually feel a bit shiny, so I'm just going to give a little... Isn't it amazing how that has just polished everything? And isn't it amazing how changing the lip has changed the whole thing? It feels so much fresher now. Going in with a bit of Pillow Talk liner. I hope I get these lashes on in the 15 minutes. Okay. Lovely. I'm going to go in with this Origins Pink Blossom Tinted Balm because my lips feel quite dry. Definitely need a bit of blusher now because I'm feeling quite dull after taking that off. So I'm going to go in with the Stila. Oh no, gone for a pinky on my lip. I'm going to go in with the sheer Lillium. Now I will take this on a brush and then onto my cheeks because, oh gosh, I'm really running out of time. I want to get those lashes on. I mean, how did that take me 15 minutes? I really need to learn to stop talking, don't I? No, nice creamy Lillium. These are much sheerer than the original Stila cream blushes. I really love the originals. These are fantastic if you want a softer wash. Maybe like me, you're a little bit conscious of redness. Look how soft that is and it's made such a nice difference. Okay, lashes. They're lovely and choppy. I'm going to get them off with a set of tweezers and then set them with some glue and hopefully drop them on nice and easily. Got one set off here. Got a minute and a half to go. I'm going to use the Dole Beauty glue to set them because that is the strongest, most reliable glue you can get your hands on. That's the lashes, nice and choppy. A minute to go. Can I do this? Maybe I would have done it if I'd laid my glue out. That would have been clever, but heaven forbid I thought ahead. Okay, we're in. We're going to do this. I would have trimmed them to size as well, usually. So if they're a little bit long, that's my fault, but I saw the band on these and I knew how easily they would drop onto the eyes. So if nothing else, I'll show you how easy they are and then I can trim them at a later point. We've got 30 seconds to go and we're going to pull this out of the bag for you, Lo. Of course I am. Okay, lots of people use tweezers. I just use my hands. There we go. I am going to be the fanciest person for the clap this evening. I'll take a picture of this when the glue is dry, but look how easily they've gone on. Have a lovely evening and I'll be talking to you again very soon.